Greetings, you polite savages, and welcome to another Tip Talk. Medium Man out of Houston is one of the up-and-comers that I believe everybody should be checking out. Full disclosure, I've talked to this brother behind the scenes, had a great conversation. I really dig where he's coming from. I dig his outlook, his logical breakdown of things, and he had a fire collaboration with Melody King where they talked about the Passport Bros. And I want to go into what they spoke about. Biggest thing that they pointed out was that, listen, ladies, the Passport Bros, they're already gone. That ship has sailed. Those dusty guys will be happy because they've dusted on somewhere else. And now you are left here with the men. And how are you going to attract those men?
Ladies, I gotta say, you happily frustrate me when you lie to yourselves and lie to us guys about what you really want from us and what you really want in a relationship. Most of you all have the inability to admit that you ladies have contradictions in your expectations and what you want from a romantic partner. And honestly, I have a lot of fun with it because I know there is not anything that I can do to change your mind and your female nature. It's like we can give you realistic answers, practical solutions, and for some reason or another, you ladies still don't want to accept the answers that we give you. But hey, if you refuse to take our answers to heart, we would be devoid of content, wouldn't we now? These are the attributes that men desire most in a female. We have a range of what we like in a woman. What we want is a woman that gives us a peace of mind, that's fit enough, that's inspirational, feminine, and beautiful, that's coachable, that is pleasant to be around. Those attributes will be the attributes that the normal, hardworking, productive guy will be seeking from a woman. And as long as she is not a financial burden and she can take care of herself, then that is the ideal woman that most guys want.
Interesting enough, a lot of ladies, they walk around thinking that no matter how old they get, that the men must come to them and that they can magically manifest that love. Magically manifest. They ain't looking, they manifest it. And it's a little silly. If you're grounded in reality, it's as crazy as that TikTok influencer who said that the airlines were discriminating against her because she was too big to get her big butt down the aisle. And at this point in 2023, if they're not making airlines to accommodate extremely morbidly obese people, then it's discrimination. This is the mentality that we've cultivated in the Western world, to think that the world must and only revolves around us.
I noticed this increase in magical manifesting syndrome taking root over 10 years ago. And I gotta say, I'm into the metaphysics a little bit, but ladies, you guys are taking it to a next level where it doesn't make sense. It's delusional behavior. There's no realistic way for you to magic manifest your ideal man when you don't even put in the work for yourself. I mean, I'm gonna have to hate to say this, but ladies, just getting into the gym, staying fit, walking and controlling your diet. I mean, you don't got to be a fitness athlete or looking like a thin rail like a model, but just a little bit of fitness will go a long way, ladies. I'm telling you. But for some reason, this magical manifesting is now the new hopium for this generation of modern women. Your unrealistic expectations and thinkings that somehow that the universe or God will magically manifest your man without you putting any kind of work, thought, or effort, or energy into making yourself the best possible woman that you can be. Magical manifesting is cope and selfish, ladies. It's delusional. I mean, I know a lot of you ladies have that dream man in mind, but if you're out of shape, heavily in debt, packing on 20 extra pounds of weight, heading into your 30s with 1 or 2 kids in tow, then you have to really reevaluate yourself, your expectations, and your standards. Are you really being realistic? Because reality will give you a good wake-up call and a reality check that you can't cash out. So look on the things that you have to work on, ladies, because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of items to go through. Do you have your looks in order? Do you have your weight at a proper range? Is your attitude good? Do you bring peace of mind to your men? Are you inspirational? Are you feminine? Are you beautiful in your personality? Do you have extra baggage? That may or may not include kids. There are always going to be trade-offs. So when you have negative items in the negative column with very little positive traits, then those negative items will cancel out those positive attributes that you have in the positive column. So ladies, remember plus and minuses, pros and cons, benefits and drawbacks. Your magical manifesting will hit a wall, no pun intended. So when the universe, ladies, has to make its calculations on the attributes that you have, Those plus and minus inputs will create an output, and that will be your reality.
So the ladies who are left here looking for mates, who are they going to pair up with? We already know the average attitude about the blue collar worker is bad because, oh no, if you don't make 6 figures plus and have the status, I don't want nothing to do with you. 6 foot, 6 figures, 6 inches. Give me this 3 6s. Mark of the devil. So what's going on? How are you going to attract these men who are left over? Like Medium Man said, the passport bros, you might as well stop talking about them. That sailed. You said you didn't like him anyway. You said they were dusty. You thought they weren't worth anything. So, hey, well, what are we going to do now? Well, I guess all the fat meat is greasy because who's left over are the brothers who wasn't going to be checking for you anyway. Why are they not checking for you? Maybe you got a couple of kids by a couple of baby daddies and they don't like that. They don't want to deal with extra kids. Even if they would deal with it, maybe them kids are bad. Maybe them kids don't pay attention. I'm talking about all races here. Maybe these kids, maybe you coddled these children so much that they are a hindrance to your life, into his life, and he sees it and he just don't want to deal with it. You see, if you're going to take a man to be a stepdaddy, he got to be the head of your household. And if you ain't ready to do that, then you ain't ready to be with somebody. Die alone. Maybe you ain't taking care of yourself like you used to. Maybe you're getting a little bit too big. And you know, you used to take care of yourself. You used to watch what you eat, but why? I just want to be happy. I'm just going to do me. Die alone. You see, this is what happens. You know, y'all hate it when Mr. Samuel said it, but he was telling you basic truths. Do you want to be with someone or don't you? And now these men are gone. These men that maybe you could have had a shot with, they went somewhere else. And let me tell you something. Once you see that the world can be different, and if you can make a living somewhere else, very hard to get a man back. I mean, Austin Hollerman over there in Africa, he does not look like he wants to return. And if he does return, he looks like he will be leaving soon. And there's men also in the United States, because you have to think about your competition here. Your competition can also be women who are coming from different countries who want to keep some traditional values.
Damn, I knew Austin was winning when he went down to Brazil and Colombia, and of course, some of those Southeast Asian countries, but hot damn, oh my God. But anyway, the real thing about all this is no matter what place you're going to be in, ladies and gentlemen, or in this case, gentlemen, we need to develop ourselves the best that we can. And I know I'm preaching to the choir, but for sure, we have to get our finances up, if you haven't already. Whatever it is, we have to get the power dynamics in our favor so we have the most leverage when we deal with women here and from around the world. Because no matter where you go, that should not stop us to do what we can to increase our revenue, gain more power, more positioning, and more influence in whatever that we do. So if you're dealing with a woman here domestically or you're dealing with a woman internationally, having the power dynamics in your hands is of utmost paramount importance.
Believe it or not, there's women who come to the United States who look at what we have going on here. The multi-gender restrooms, the lack of traditional values, the lack of traditional gender roles, and they say, oh my goodness, I wasn't raised like this. This is very uncomfortable to me. And although I can make money here, I just don't want to do it and live like this. I want to find someone who lives closer to my understandings. So all of these things that you say about men that you want them to change, you may be pricing yourself out the market. The question is, what are you going to do to keep the men here? Because the competition is getting tight. Ask women in Atlanta how competition is. Only thing you hear women in Atlanta is saying how hard it is to get a black man or how hard it is to get a man. Ask a woman in Houston. There's a whole bunch of women walking around in their 40s talking about they can get any man they want, but they can't keep them. I got family members. I got cousins. I got second and third and fourth cousins with a roster of women wishing that they can keep them because all of these dudes are upwardly mobile, got their stuff going. They wish they could keep a man. I mean, you have to understand that if you are educated as a man and you're actually making good money and you actually know how to take care of yourself, you actually were raised right, you actually do have discipline, integrity, morals, really hard for you to lose in this world. And what do we see here? I mean, I tell you, we just see a whole lot of women saying it's all about the money or who gonna check me boo with that face. It just ain't working. It's just not working. So I'm gonna tell you this, ladies. It's a symbiotic relationship. If you think you don't need a man, you're done. Because winter is already here, but this economic cold front that's gonna come in, it's gonna change a lot of people's mind about what they can do. A lot of these jobs that you think are gonna be around, AI is gonna get them. We were talking about this 2 years ago, 3 years ago on the tip. Nobody wanted to pay attention to us. AI is going to take your job. AI is going to take a lot of jobs. And what are you gonna do? You better find you a blue collar man that AI can't get.
Not only you have to be competing against other girls, you have to be competing against AI girls too. So the guys that you want that end up exercising your options and finding someone else, and the guys that you were going to settle for happen to be now across the world exercising their ability to use their passports. What you're going to have left are the other guys that may not even want your attention because they have their AI girlfriend. Give this technology another 10 years and advances in augmented reality and virtual reality, and what you will find will be men spending on their virtual girlfriends, overspending money, time, and resources on you. It's already happening.
How's the business of being a virtual girlfriend going?
Beyond imagination. It's a hectic schedule. Imagine chatting with 1,000 people a week for hours on end every day.
How much have you earned so far?
My service charges $1 a minute. With 1,000 users so far, I've earned over $70,000, and that's just in 1 week. If 20,000 out of my 1.8 million followers are willing to pay, the service of a virtual girlfriend is to provide the standard girlfriend experience.
Why do you think so many people are willing to pay for your service?
Loneliness is the underlying condition of humanity. Do you have any private topics you'd like to discuss with me?
I mean, shout out to Rob Blacklight Revelations, where he goes into this in detail. And one more thing, ladies. All these guys that you looked over, the blue-collar workers, the trade workers. Well, I gotta tell you, one of the biggest misconceptions is that AI will take over these jobs. The real truth is that the redundant white-collar jobs, even higher-paying ones, will be greatly reduced. So how useful will be your degrees when you aren't prepared for artificial intelligence? So it looks like AI is gonna be hitting you up more ways than one. Not only the degrees that you have, ladies, but also AI will be competing for these so-called leftover guys that you don't want, but the resources that you do want will not be going to you at all.
If you are going to demand a man who makes money, that's fine. You have your ability and your right to have who you can attract. Let's put it down this way. You get a man, he has good money, he takes care of himself, he's clean cut, good looking, but what is he looking for? I had a consultation with a lady yesterday, and I made it very simple. Even simpler than feminine and friendly, because a lot of times women have a hard time understanding what femininity is. A man wants someone who's nice. That's right, just nice. Come home with a smile, maybe rub his shoulders every now and again. Give him a little ego boost, because the world is hard on you every day. Femininity, what does that really mean? He wants someone that he doesn't have to battle when he gets home. I don't want to battle you for dominance. If you think you're an alpha female, the average dude don't want an alpha female. I want to say that I'm not saying that a woman can't have her mind, her thoughts, and her expertise. If you're a leader, if someone has an expertise in something, you let them run with that expertise when it's beneficial for the team. You see, a leader, an alpha, thinks about the team. A beta thinks about themselves. That's why the beta orbiters be around your women. And they're thinking about, how can I get in? How can I get in? How can I disrupt this thing that they got? How can I get in? But if you're an alpha, you're thinking about, okay, how can I move us forward as a team? What do we have next? We want you to care about your appearance. Not saying that you gotta be a supermodel, but I'm saying that you should put your best presentation forward. Oh, let me trigger a few folks, man. The bonnet brigade, y'all gotta take the bonnets out. And finally, and this is the final thing, ladies, and it's not hard, this is how simple men are. When it comes to intimacy, do not hold out. I'm not trying to say that you have to be some deviant servant to his carnal desires, but what I'm saying is that men require that sexual intimacy. And if you have a man and you want to keep him, you will figure out a way to please him, just like he should please you. Maybe this will help you ladies out here. Since you've lost a population, let's say 12% are already checked out and said they're not going to date Western women, your chances are getting slim. That's all I got for you today, you polite savages. I don't want to go too deep into it, but I'm going to tell you this. If you thought that winter was coming, just wait till that AI cold front hit you. Boom. This is G. I'm out. That's all I got for you polite savages. Like and subscribe. Hit us up on all social media networks. Any suggestions for things that you want us to cover, drop it on the gram, THPP Network, especially from our members. Our TIPTube membership is very affordable. It's like a cup of coffee. And as always, ask yourself one burning question. Can you handle the tip? We're out.
We found true happiness.